Alright, so this video is gonna be a little short, but basically I'm going over just the main content from the past few Classic Arena updates, and I guess a tutorial on how to use the new build tools if needed. So let's get into that. Alright, so the first one is Tedeschi's new ultimate. The second new feature was that Brick Battler's TWOW, or not TWOW, his block animation gets changed. So Brick Battler has a new variant where you use TWOW and Rocket Launcher. There's a new variant for Gravity Slam and Recoil Smash for a coil expert. There's a new character, Helper Bot. Its first move, Assaulted Pummel. His second move, Helper Cannon. And his third move. Alright, so this is the tutorial, a basic simple tutorial on how to use the new building tools in Classic Arena. If you were to ever make, you want to make custom builds and stuff. So, first, I'll show you how to access, how to, turn on build tools. Then I'll tell you about, the UI and how, what each button does. And then I'll show you how to save builds and load them in. So first, to make, a build, you need to be in your private server. And then you need to go to commands. Then, you can go to players, select on the player. So say if I have this deselected, I select the player, which is me. Then, I'm gonna turn on toggle build tools. There's also some new PS settings that you can use. Like new dummies and granting ultimate and heals, but we're focusing on the build tools. So press the orange, yellowish gold orange button, toggle build tools, and then you're in build mode. And now in the corner of your screen, you will have, some UI buttons. But also, if you're making bigger builds, you can also toggle flying, which then allows you to fly while you're in build mode. Also, another thing you can do is if you go into game values, you can toggle hide map, which if you're making your own map and you don't want the base map to be there, you can toggle it off. The only thing it does not get rid of is the shop, the titles and emotes. But I'm gonna keep that on. Alright, so I'm gonna explain the UI. First, we'll talk about how you spawn parts in. So, to spawn a part in, there are two buttons. You got the part button, and you got the spawn point button. Pressing the part button will spawn a basic default block. It's basic. And then pressing the spawn point button will spawn a spawn point. Or a spawn pad, however you want to call it. And I don't really need to go into, the basics of what a spawn pad is. It's just where you can spawn. Okay. So, I'm going to teach you these two buttons right here. So, the first one, the trash can or delete button, to use it, you gotta hold or click over, well, a part or a spawn pad, like something you place down, and if you want to get rid of it, press the trash can button. Boom, it's gone. Now, this button, which is like 2 squares and a plus, is the copy and paste button. So what you need to do is select the block or part or spawn point, press the copy and paste button, and it's now made a copy of that block. So if you want, say, well, you can't really tell right now that there's 2 blocks there. So let's move out of the way. So you grab, or you press the button with the arrows, and it allows you to move the block, spawn, or whatever part on any of its local axes. And now the copy and paste thing has worked, and now we have 2 of the same block, but I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna actually not get rid of it. I'm gonna make 2 more of it. Okay, so now we're gonna go into what each button does and how to use them. So the first one is the rotate button. Basically, when you select that, you can rotate it on the X, Y, and Z axis. And it's pretty simple. It's like completely the same as, build mode. Well, not build mode, I mean studio. But right here above it, you can see the default number 10, which is the degrees it moves in. So say I want it to turn, 45 degrees. And then, see, it won't turn unless it's 45 degrees. Yeah, it turns every 45 degrees. It's pretty simple. Say I want it to turn like every 90 degrees. We can't really tell, but it's turning every 90 degrees. And to reset it, the number back to default, you just click on it and let go. Alright, so to use the next tool, which is like the square to a bigger square, it's the scale tool. Basically, you can scale any side of your part to whatever size you want. And then the number above it works the same. It's just how far. So say, like, I want to scale it like 50 studs upwards. So I would set it to 50 and then move my cursor. Like 50 is a little high number, but yeah, see, it goes 50 studs more. I am a little sick. And then you can reset it back to default by pressing by pressing it. To use the move button, I already told you, it just moves it on its local axes. So if I were to try moving something that's like rotated, it would only turn on its axes, and it's not like global. And then you can change the unit that it moves. So say I wanted to move like every 5 studs. Boom, it moves every 5 studs. Say I wanted to move every 0.1 studs. You can have it move every 0.1 studs. Which is a lot more specific. Okay. Now, I'm gonna show you what all these like smaller buttons are. So position, pretty simple, is where it is on the map. Coordinates change, wherever it is. The size, that changes depending on, the scale. Oh shoot, my game freeze or something? My wallpaper was sewn for a second. But it changes depending on the size. Then orientation is related to, its rotation. Whoop. And then, so to use change the material, it's plastic right now. To change it, you just click on it and it changes to smooth plastic, and it just changes every time you click it. Yep. And then the shape, which is like, how you get stuff like circles and all that. You just click on it, and the first one is the ball, which is pretty smooth. And then you got the wedge, the cylinder, corner wedge, and then back to block. To change the color, you just go over here and select whatever color you want. It has a big color selection. We'll go back to, you know, basic gray. And then transparency, 0 is where it's not transparent, and if you set it to 1, it's fully transparent. So say I want it to be like half transparent, it would be 0.5. So it's now half transparent. So you can make like windows and stuff. And then cast shadow, you know what a shadow is. Like, see down there? That's the shadow of this block. But say I wanted to not cast a shadow. Boom, it's gone. And then the last setting is can collide. So, you know, like, I can't walk through it. Like, everything's collision. You turn that to false, and it has no collision anymore. So if you're like making invisible barriers, or just like walk through walls, then you can use that. And that's the UI, you know, the basic stuff for building, how to build. And now we're gonna show you I'm gonna show you how to use, you know, how to save. So to save, I don't know why I say it like that. You go to builds, and you press save. I honestly, okay, now I get it. So, you press save, which I wish there was like a pop-up that tells you, but now this build, everything you built is now saved. And I'm gonna clear all the builds. Now, if I press load, it reappears. Load, clear, load, clear. And say you accident, like, let me just reload this. So say you're building something, and say you like, I don't know what circumstance this would be good at, but pressing this lock button makes it so you can't save. So you can't actually accidentally save something you didn't mean to the wrong slot. So when you you only get 2 free slots. And if you want more, you gotta press this plus symbol, and then a pop-up, you know, for Robux, 30 Robux. I call it Robux because I like it like that. You can buy an extra build slot for 30 Robux. Oh shoot, my game keeps freezing. I do not know why. Okay. But yeah, that's how to use the build tools, and to get out of, you know, build mode. You just toggle build tools, and you can turn off flying. And yeah, you can, like, you know, interact with your, let me get up here. You can interact with your builds. You can create custom maps, you know, like all that. But anyways, that's how you use the build tool. That's like, you know, everything in the past few updates, you know, the main content. There's of course a lot of more stuff like emotes and titles and like bug fixes, but I don't really go over this. I only go over like the main things. Well, peace. I gotta go eat. Soda. Bye.